The movie begins with Ged, who narrates his life story and how he changed it to achieve unprecedented success. Ged recounts growing up in a family of thieves and fraudsters, unlike ordinary families who raise their children to become doctors and engineers. We see Ged as a child making a bomb from matchsticks and explosives so he and his brother Mook can rob their first safe. The viewer notices that Ged is a dwarf, unlike his brother Mook, who has normal growth. Ged assembles the bomb and detonates the safe, explaining that he planned while Mook executed. Mook tries to set the numbers until he successfully opens it. We observe that Mook dislikes stealing, unlike Ged, who considers it his favorite hobby. No one in the family believed their success until they saw the money in their hands. Meanwhile, they hear the sound of their mother's car and her friend Glenn approaching the house. We learn that this day was Thanksgiving. When they arrive, they find Glenn with a gunshot wound in his leg. Before their mother can tell them what happened, they hear the sound of police cars approaching. Their mother is forced to take Glenn and escape quickly before the police can arrest them. Their mother bids them farewell, telling them she won't be able to attend the holiday. When Mook asks to go with her, she refuses, explaining she doesn't want to exploit them, and asks them to take care of each other and stay together forever. Police cars chase them at top speed, but their mother manages to escape. During their escape, Glenn swallows the stolen goods, and we are surprised to learn they are rare jewels. Newspapers publish the news of the theft of $4 million worth of jewels, and their pictures spread with a reward for anyone who finds them or reports their whereabouts. As days pass, Ged and Mook grow up and carry out many robberies. 25 years later, newspapers once again report on the disappearance of Glenn and their mother with the jewels. We see Ged and Mook disguised in their car preparing for a new robbery. Mook appears distressed and doesn't want to carry out the operation, so Ged tries to calm him, telling him it's the last time they'll steal. Mook gets angry, telling him he says that every time, and unfortunately out of fear for him, he can't leave him alone. They reflect on how their mother left them alone all these years and never once thought to check on them. They get out of the car and begin to enter the factory they're going to rob, but security cameras capture them. As soon as they enter, Mook opens the safe combination and Ged rejoices when it opens. He asks Mook to get the car ready while he collects the money from the safe and catches up with him. While he's collecting the money, a security guard enters and attempts to surrender. Before he can finish speaking, Mook attacks him, hitting him on the head, knocking him unconscious. They run out quickly, but as they escape, police cars arrive and surround the area. Ged surrenders and Mook escapes quickly before he can be caught. 5 years in prison. 5 years later, we see Ged packing his belongings to leave prison. His cellmate asks him how he's getting out before finishing his sentence. At this time, Ged decided to completely change his life. He tells his cellmate that he's getting out on good behavior, which of course no one believes. Officer Farvel takes him to complete his release procedures. As they walk, Farvel informs him that he'll remain under surveillance. Through their conversation, we learn that Farvel's father is the judge who released Ged. For this reason, Ged asks for his father's address to send him a fruit basket as a thank you gift. We learn that Ged had slipped a note among the cases his father was presiding over concerning release on good behavior. Ged assures him that he will never disappoint him and will walk the straight path. Farvel asks his assistant to expedite Ged's procedures. As soon as the assistant moves away, Farvel confronts Ged, ordering him to answer his calls immediately. Here we learn that Ged had made a deal with him to give him a collection of jewels he would steal in exchange for his release from prison. Of course, Farvel, greedy for the offer, agreed. He gives him a phone to keep with him so he can reach him at any time. Mook's new life. At the same time, we see Mook getting ready for work. His wife asks him to pick up supplies for their gender reveal party. We notice that Mook is happily living with his wife and is settled away from Ged. Mook tells his wife that he'll be getting a promotion soon because he's been working regularly for a year without absence or problems. Mook goes to work but is shocked when he finds the restaurant owner firing him. Mook tries to change his mind, telling him he needs the job because his wife is pregnant and needs a lot of money, but the restaurant owner insists on his decision, telling him that the labor office called to ask about employees with criminal records. When he gave them the names of his employees, they learned that Mook had a record and ordered him to be fired. Mook asks him to let him take the gender reveal party supplies, and the restaurant owner tells him he can take what he needs after he pays for it. A sibling reunion. Mook returns home, not knowing how to tell his wife that he was fired. As soon as he arrives, he's shocked to find Ged there. He takes him, and they sit in the garden away from his wife so she doesn't know he was in prison. Ged tells him he's upset because Mook never checked on him in prison or even tried to visit him. Mook tries to explain that his lawyer advised him not to go near the court at all so his name wouldn't come up in the case. Mook asks him, "How did you get out before finishing your sentence?" Ged tells him that he made a secret deal with a corrupt officer named Farvel, whose father is a judge, in exchange for his release from prison. He continues telling him that he got a job from a prisoner sentenced to life and he promised Farvel and his father to give them half of it. He tries to convince him that the operation is very simple and easy, and it will be a robbery of a clothing store with a lot of money located in a remote place. In this meanwhile Mook refuses to carry out the operation with him, telling him that he now has a house, a wife, and a child on the way, and he's not willing to risk all of that for a robbery. He asks him to attend the gender reveal party, and then leave without letting his wife feel that there are problems between them. Ged tries to tempt him, telling him his share will be $1 million, but Mook insists on his decision. Thanksgiving and family troubles, the party begins and Mook welcomes his wife's family. Ged recounts his memories with his brother when they were young, and everyone is surprised by his words. Ged meets Mook's brother-in-law and they sit and drink together. When Mook sees them he gets angry and attacks Ged, chasing and hitting him. His wife sprays them with water to separate them and tells Mook that he ruined the party. Mook tries to apologize to her and tells her that he doesn't want his brother to stay with them, and he tries to kick him out by all means. His wife tells him that she knows very well that he made many mistakes in his life, just like her, but now the situation has changed and they must change for their upcoming daughter's sake. Mook is convinced by her words and tells her that Ged was in prison and just got out. At this time Ged returns home. As soon as he enters his room, he finds his mother has sent him a message asking if he has met his brother yet, and he also finds many calls from Farvel. Suddenly Farvel attacks him, hits him, and throws him in the bathtub, continuing to scold him because he didn't answer his calls. Ged tries to apologize to him and tells him that he was out to dinner and forgot his phone. Farvel warns him not to forget the phone again and to answer him as soon as he calls. He pulls out a weapon from his pocket and makes Ged hold it to get his fingerprints on it, and tells him that if he doesn't carry out the operation they agreed on quickly and give him his share of the money, he will present the gun to the court and send him back to prison again. Before he leaves, Farvel punches him in the face, knocking him unconscious. The hidden jewel deal Mook goes to wake him up and is shocked to learn that Farvel did that to him. Ged tells him that he won't leave him until he carries out the operation, and Mook is forced to carry out the operation with him so Farvel doesn't harm him. He asks him about the location of the safe they are going to rob, and Ged tells him that they will travel for 2 days to carry out the operation. Afterward, Mook calls his wife and tells her that he's going to travel with his brother to see their aunt who is on her deathbed. His wife asks him to return before Thanksgiving. They start to move, and as they are on the road Mook confesses that he didn't go to the lawyer or anything, and the whole story is that he didn't want to see him again because of his actions. Ged tells him he knew that. They then arrive at the desired location and rent a room in a hotel. At the same time Farvel goes to Ged's friend, and we learn that he found her location through the messages she was sending him in prison. Here we learn that she works as a factory worker. The deception revealed at the same time Mook impersonates her and enters the factory to steal an excavation vehicle. Ged and his mother are waiting in the car. As soon as he reaches them they are happy, and she takes them to the location of the land where Glenn is buried. His mother shows Mook where the grave is, and he starts digging until he unearths his body. Of course his body has decomposed and become a skeleton. Ged asks him to reach into his stomach and retrieve the jewels, and Mook is forced to obey, disgusted. He puts on a glove, reaches in and searches until he succeeds indeed pulling out the jewels. He takes off the glove with the jewels and gives it to Ged. Here the landowners attack them and chase them with golf carts. Mook drives fast, pushing them with the tractor to make them fall, and escapes from them to a distant place. Afterward they go to bury Glenn somewhere. Out of Ged's joy he mixes up his words and reveals to Mook from his speech that he had impersonated a labor office employee and called the restaurant owner to fire him and force him to agree to carry out the operation. Mook quarrels with him, leaves him, and goes to sit alone. The final showdown, his mother goes to him. Here Farvel attacks Ged and keeps hitting him, asking him about the location of the jewels. Ged throws the glove away and tells him that they couldn't get them out. Farvel gets angry and tells him that he must go back to his father with the money so he doesn't call him a failure. He ties his hand, and when Mook hears their voices he attacks Farvel and hits him, but Farvel manages to control him and also ties him up, threatening them with a weapon to confess the location of the jewels. Meanwhile their mother takes the jewels and escapes with them, leaving her sons in Farvel's hands. Here Mook gets upset and realizes that she never thought about them and her only goal was her own self-interest. While he is with Farvel in the car they fight, and Mook's leg hits Farvel's head, making him lose consciousness. They stop the car, throw Farvel out of it, and escape. Mook deduces where his mother went and goes after her. We learn that she went to a jeweler she knew to get the price of the jewels. Before she could leave with the money, Mook and Ged arrive. She tells them that the money is hers alone and runs away. They chase after her, and Farvel chases them with the weapon from his phone in the car. They then enter a large mall, and Mook tries to take the bag of money from her hand. As he tries to pull it from her hand, it falls to the ground and Ged takes it. Before he can escape with it, Farvel arrives and keeps shooting at them, hoping to hit them. The mall guards notify the police about the shooting. Police cars quickly arrive and demand that the person shooting surrender. Here Ged gets an idea, puts a spray bottle in the bag and opens it. He and his brother go out to Farvel and fight in front of him to distract him. Farvel gets angry and orders them to throw the bag in front of him. Here their mother is hiding and watching them from a distance, not understanding anything. As soon as Farvel approaches the bag to open it, gas gets into his eyes and he accidentally presses the weapon and the bullet hits the gas cylinder, exploding the place. Conclusion: Ged and Mook take the bag and don't know how to escape with the police at the door. Here their mother decides to correct her mistakes and leaves them the money bag, telling them there's a back door they can escape through. She takes the weapon and goes out to surrender to the police. Of course Mook and Ged are surprised by her action. Afterward each of them takes their share and Mook decides to go and pay his share to Farvel's father so he doesn't present the weapon to the police and send his brother back to prison again. The judge takes the bag of money and doesn't care about Mook's son. He then returns home for Thanksgiving, apologizes for his delay, and his wife and her family are very happy to see him back. Ged arrives here and asks him to stay with them and Mook welcomes him. After dinner Ged surprises Mook by telling him he put his share of the money in the bank under his daughter Blue's name. Mook is happy with his action and tells him they only have each other. A year later Blueberry, Mook's daughter, is born and Mook, his wife, and Ged go to visit his mother in prison and celebrate Thanksgiving with her. Ged tells us that this is the best holiday he has spent since he was young. His mother asks Mook to give her daughter to see her. When the visiting hour ends, she gives her to Ged. When they leave prison, Mook stands with his brother and tells him that he saw what happened between him and his mother. Here we learn that their mother did not sell all the jewels and kept 3 of them. And while she was giving him the girl, she put it in his hand. Ged shows him 2 jewels and Mook is very happy. Thus the events of our film end today.